Hello everyone. In this video, I'll try to explain CHAP. Uh, we in the previous video, I've explained you about point to point with PAP authentication. Now let us look at CHAP. CHAP is Challenge Handshake Authentication Protocol. So this is a bit a complex protocol when compared with PAP. CHAP is also called as three-way handshake authentication. So in which it checks a remote node periodically. So CHAP generally uses MD5 hash. One end sends a hash code to the other end. So the other end also sends a hash. If the hashes are same or matching, then the communication starts. Let's try to create CHAP on Cisco Packet Tracer. So I'll take two routers and now I'll try to connect these two routers with the protocol CHAP. So to establish a connection between these two routers, we need a serial DC cable. There is no serial DC cable for the routers I considered. So let's create them. First, open a router, turn off the router physically, then connect this hardware part which contains the serial ports. Now turn on the router. Wait until it reboots. Do the same for other router as well. Now I'm doing for router 1. Turn off router and turn on the router. So once if it is done, now you can establish a connection between these two routers. Go to connections, serial DC, and connect two routers. They connected with each other through serial 0 to 0 at both ends. Now let's rename the routers. A display name as R1, host name as R1 for better remembering sake. Then click on the serial 0 to 0. Now turn on this port and you have to set a clock rate as 64,000. This clock rate 64,000 is set for DCE, which is a data communication element. So here router 1, which I created first. So this will be uh, DCE, data communication element. So for that, clock rate should be 64,000. So once after setting this, you can set IP address. Now let's take these two routers on one particular network. Say like I'll write here, and network address is 132.168.11.0. Now this is a network, and now I'll assign the routers an IP that fall under this network. So go to router 1 for serial 0 to 0. I'm giving an IP like 132.168.11.say1. And the subnet mask will be generated automatically according to the class of IP address. Now, now do it for router 1. Go to the display name as R2, then host name as R2. Go to serial 202, turn on this port status, and then don't change anything for the clock rate. This router 2 here will act as uh, DTE, data terminal element, which automatically changes its clock rate according to DCE. Now set uh, IP for it, like 132.168.11.1. Sorry, 1 is already used. 2 here. Subnet mask is 255.255.0.0. Now the physical connections and the IP is done. Now we have to set the protocols. Click on router 1, go to its configuration. Yeah. So go to command line interface, go to its configuration. Now set username and password here. Username, you have to give it like for R2, the other router's username, and then password. Say I give here Cisco. Now username and password at the router 1 is done, which is representing to the other's router R2 and its password. Next, yeah. Now I have to go for a serial 020. Now I need to set, sorry, I minimized it. I am unable to see. Yeah, right. Now go to the serial 020. Now here you need to configure a PPP first with command encapsulation PPP. Point to point, you have to encapsulate. Now this serial is down. So link protocol on interface serial is down. You have to make it up by typing command no shutdown. Okay, so then next you have to set PPP with authentication chap. So for that PPP space authentication space chap. Now this side for R1 you have done all the settings. Now go to R2 and do the same. Set username and password. Go to command line. Oh, it's in serial. Exit. So go to configuration. Now R2 you have to set username. Username you have to give here like R1, the other router's username, and password is I am giving here like Cisco. Now go to the serial interface. Serial here is 020. Now here you need to perform encapsulation with PPP, then PPP authentication chap. So now you have set everything for communication between the two routers with chap. Now let's go to router 1 and exit from the serial, exit from configuration. Now from here, you need to ping or send a packet to a router 2. Now you are in router 1. So ping the other router whose IP is 132.168.11.2. Now ping it. Let's see. So generally, when you are not waiting for more time, so generally you get an error. Your success rate is 0, which is the packet is not sent successfully because the connections are still ongoing. So you need to wait for some time. Once if it is done, then so you can start communicating. So I'll try in this way for transmitting the packet. See, it failed. Okay. Means the communication still, the connections are still under process. So I'll do for R2. The R2, if you go here into R2, the line protocol interface serial 0 to 0 is up. Now from here, I'll try to transmit or ping. Ping the IP address of router 1 is 132.168.11.1. Sending file. The success rate is 0. I think this side's serial is down, so I'll try it again. Ping 132.168.11.2. Let's wait. Yeah, still it is 0. So I'll see. I'll check it in simulator. So it is in process. It's failed. But okay, I'll check it in real time. Come back again to real time and open the router. Yeah, now serial, you can see R1 serial at line code, sorry, line protocol on interface serial 0 to 0 state is up. Now let us ping. Now you can see it's the success rate is up. So the failure is just only because of this. The line protocol on interface, it's the which means that the connections are still under establishment. Once if it is done, so I pinged it, I got it successfully. So this is how you can implement PPP with CHAP protocol. So that's it for now. I hope you understood this concept. Thanks for watching.